I think honestly, I think it's a tragedy that we have someone who wants to be president who has consistently, over the course of his career, attempted to use race to divide the American people. I do believe that the vast majority of us know that we have so much more in common than what separates us, and we don't want this kind of approach that is just constantly trying to divide us, and especially by race.
I honestly feel like I'm losing my mind sometimes. This is so crazy to me. In my opinion, the Biden-Harris administration has arguably been the most divisive administration in modern history, especially when it comes to race. And hands down, this Harris presidential campaign, since its inception, has been the most divisive presidential campaign in history, at least in modern history, especially when it comes to race. From the moment, almost the very moment that she announced that she was running, and it was Zoom call after Zoom call, separating out her supporters by race. It became a viral meme sensation, white dudes for Harris. And then, of course, the famous white woman talking to other white women about what they have to do to support Black and brown women who support Kamala Harris.
Here because, as if you were here earlier, you've heard BIPOC women have tapped us in as white women to step up, listen, and get involved this election season. This is a really important time, and we all need to use our voices and influence for the greater good. No matter who you are all influencers in some way. So tonight, I'm going to share some do's and don'ts for getting involved in politics online and navigating the toxicity that comes with it. And spoiler alert, as much as the toxicity can come from the outside, it can come from us too. So first, don't isolate yourself. We can do our best work when we're in community together like we are tonight, because the toxic feels smaller when we support each other. But don't make it about yourself. As white women, we need to use our privilege to make positive changes. If you find yourself talking over or speaking for BIPOC individuals, or God forbid, correcting them, just take a beat. And instead, we can put our listening.
And that's not the only call of its kind. Separating out Latinos for Harris. And then there's been post after post after post chastising white people, chastising white women, including white liberals, white Democrats, on what special things they have to do to support Black and brown women and people in this presidential campaign. This has been the most divisive presidential campaign in history. There is no reason to divide your supporters by something as silly as race. Because you know what? If you want to elect Kamala Harris for some godforsaken reason, you have to do the same thing with white skin that you have to do with brown skin or black skin. It's all the same when it comes to getting someone elected. You don't have special tasks when you have white skin. You don't have special privileges when you have a certain color skin when it comes to getting someone elected. So there's no reason to divide people out by gender or skin color or race. This has been the most divisive presidential campaign in history. And I understand if you don't like Donald Trump. I can understand that. I can get that. But I cannot understand how you can't see this hypocrisy staring you right in the face. She launched her campaign yesterday for all intents and purposes, and it's been nothing but divisive. So how can you forget so quickly? How can you not see the hypocrisy staring you in the face? And when has Donald Trump, specifically when has Donald Trump divided his supporters or divided Americans by skin color? When did he do that? Because he wanted to secure the border? That has nothing to do with skin color. That has to do with putting America first and protecting America, which happens to come in all skin colors, FYI, it's good for all of us when the border's secure, especially for Black and brown people. I've made other videos on that. That's a known thing, that the people hurt the most by an influx of illegal immigration are typically Black Americans. But regardless, that's another story. How can you not see this hypocrisy? How can you not see this hypocrisy? It's insane. It's insane. Absolutely insane.
Interesting. White women. I mean, here we are. I have to admit, when I was writing stuff down, I was like, Karens for Kamala? I don't know. Why is it so difficult, as Glennon was saying, to acknowledge and address ourselves as white women? But here we are, and I am so proud for all of us to be together as women, as white women. We are the ones that have the privilege, of course.
Take our cues from them. 40,000 Black women just the other day, like literally in the snap of a finger, Win with Black Women, getting organized and getting around this. White women, this is our opportunity to show up, not only for ourselves, but for Black women. They've given us the whole playbook on how to show up and energize and be organized. And
don't want a leader who is constantly trying to have Americans point their fingers at each other.